Hello, welcome to Commissioner's Corner for District 9. My name is Kathy Crawford, and I was elected by the Novi residents for my second two-year term to be their voice in Oakland County government. So each month you can expect to be introduced to interesting and knowledgeable guests who will provide you with a wealth of information. I do suggest that you have a pencil and paper on hand to write down any pertinent information that you would want to remember or numbers that you would want to keep so that you could find out additional information. In addition, if there's a topic that you would like to know more about, just contact the SWAC Studios or the City of Novi, and I'll be glad to look into having a guest come and talk about that particular topic. So, without further ado, I'm excited to introduce our guest today on the Commissioner Corner Show, Phil Bertolini. And Phil, I looked up your title and everything, you know, and it says, you are Phil Bertolini, CIO Deputy County Executive. So you were appointed by Brooks Patterson, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And for the listening audience, and for the viewing audience rather, what does CIO stand for?
Sure. First, thank you for having me on your show this month, and I'm excited to talk about some of our technologies and some of the work we're doing at the county. But the Chief Information Officer, or the CIO, is responsible for all the strategic direction for technology, whether it be development, support, or maintenance of the technologies that allow county government to provide the services they need to provide to our 1.2 million residents of Oakland County.
Wow, sounds like a big job.
It is.
You know, I noticed too in your resume that that you are a vocal advocate for cloud and enterprise solutions in government. Now, what is that exactly?
So when you look at government, and many people look at government, they see it broken up in a number of what many used to call silos. So you would have maybe your treasurer's office, your clerk's office, register of deeds. You may have law enforcement over here. You may have finance. So what an enterprise solution is a solution, or a technology solution in our case, that is horizontally integrated across all of government. So Bob Dadow, who you know is one of our deputy county executives, he's been working for Brooks now, our county executive, for 20 years. And when he came to county government, he talked about the integration of government services, whether they be horizontally integrated across departments and divisions of county government, or vertically integrated with different levels of government, whether it be city, village, township, county, or even state. So when we talk about enterprise solutions, what we do is we look at the technology solution that solves a business problem. And then we look across all of county government and say, if I'm building a database for the treasurer, then I should be building it for the assessor. And I should be building it for the clerk. I should be building one that they can all use and benefit from. So we horizontally integrate the technology. Much more efficient. You bet. Right? Yeah. But also it means to also go to different levels of government. So there are cities, villages, and townships that perform the same services that we do in county government. So why build it just for ourselves? Why don't we build it for them too? So we've created a world where we take every technology initiative, we look horizontally across county government and vertically across all levels of government. And our county executive, Brooks Patterson, always says that we should do everything we can to benefit all those levels of government, so we leverage our tax dollars across multiple entities. So to give you a good example, Geographic Information System. Back in the mid-90s, there were 6 different GIS programs under development in county government alone. 6 different initiatives. And there were also multiple initiatives that were under development in the cities, villages, and townships across the county. So the county said, hey, let's stop that. Let's build one enterprise GIS system. We will provide the software, technology, and the training at no cost to all the locals. We will build it once, we will maintain it once, and everybody will benefit from it. So we did that. It was about a $10 million investment. We did a study in the county that if every local unit of government had done their own systems,
oh my goodness.
First of all, they wouldn't have talked to each other because it had been different technologies. And second, it would have cost 3 times the amount that we invested. So it would have been a tax bill that would have had to been paid by the taxpayers of $30 million versus a $10 million investment that now everybody uses. So in Oakland County, which is very unique, we have one geographic information system that all levels of government utilize, and we maintain it at the county level. That's an example of an enterprise solution.
Okay, well, you know, I also was looking along here, and I know you've received a lot of awards. personally you've received a lot of awards, and for the whole department has received a lot of awards. And I know one of them recently, well, one of the things that it says here is that in 2007, you were one of the top 25 doers, dreamers, and drivers, right?
Yes.
So what is that? It says by government technology. So that's really, among all of the awards that you received, that to me speaks volumes, you know, about creative solutions to problems and everything. And among top 25, I don't know if that was in the county or if it was nationwide.
That was nationwide.
Wow. And the other national award that I think you've gotten 2 years, maybe not the same award, but 2 years in a row, and just recently you went to the White House, right?
Yeah.
And what was that award?
So let's talk first about what we're really, you know, how those awards are really achieved. Okay. It's a team effort.
Sure.
Our county executive always gives us the ability to perform. He provides us with the environment to be successful. My job as Deputy County Executive and CIO is to provide the environment for the team at Oakland County Information Technology to be successful. So I'm nothing without them. So understand that those awards that we received, that top 25 doers, dreamers, and drivers, was from the Center for Digital Government, which is a national organization, and it does even some international work. And what they did is they looked at the top 25 people, and Brooks and I actually got that award together back in 2007 for the work that we're doing and the ability to have the executive sponsorship we need to be innovative in technology. So that was definitely a team effort. The Champions of Change, which was with the White House, and that was very exciting.
Yeah.
And to go to the White House and be recognized, of the 12 organizations and government organizations that were recognized.
It was nationwide.
Nationwide, we were the only county that was recognized.
Really? Wow.
And what we were recognized for was being innovative. We've been through the toughest economic times in our lifetime, yet we have still been innovative, and what we're moving forward is our G2G cloud solutions, our shared technology service. And by moving that forward, the White House said, you're one of the top 12 in the nation in government that's doing innovative work, and we want to recognize you for that. What was really cool about it, though, was I felt like my whole team was there with me, because when I gave a presentation, we had to do what's called an Ignite presentation.
Ignite?
Yeah, where you had to do 20 slides in like 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So you had to move through these slides, and when we did that, there was a lot of work that we had done. We've been doing this project for a number of years. It just didn't start overnight.
Oh no.
And then we were able to talk about that with the White House and with federal government officials, as well as the other local governments, mostly cities that were recognized with us. So we were really excited, and we're very proud of that. And one of the more proud moments for me is when I was able to stand in front of our team and share that award with them. I mean, it meant the world to the work that they're doing.
Sure, and it should mean a lot to the county and the state of Michigan.
You bet.
I mean, how lucky are we? I mean, and it doesn't mean luck was why we got it. I mean, it represented a lot of difficult work. One thing I've got to tell you, Phil, I have lived in an age, back in the day where we had the rotary dial phone, and even my parents or grandparents would call us in from the back 40 on the farm because there was a long distance call. So, we've come such a long ways in such a short period of time. And when I got an iPhone and I got my iPad, and I get this little icon on there that says something about cloud, I have absolutely no idea what that is all about. I just know enough to be dangerous, that's all. So for those out there that are sort of like me, that have come from, archaic systems, sort of like the rotary dial phones, or maybe they were as progressive to have a wall phone. We didn't on the farm. So what do I need to know? What does the person out there that's watching today need to know about the cloud? How does it work? What is it?
Sure,
exactly?
and I'll break that down for you, but you brought up something with the rotary phone, and I always remember as a young person, we had a rotary phone.
Sure.
And I remember that whenever you wanted to do the radio station contest, it was whoever had the fastest fingers that could get in and get the prize.
And you know, if you had a number with an O in it, oh my
you had to start all over again.
You
had to start all over. If you missed a number, you had to start all over. Which my two boys, who are 16 and 14 today,
wow,
they have no clue what some of the technologies that we grew up with and black and white television, what's that. But when you talk about the cloud, I want to demystify that a little bit, because the cloud is about sharing services. So in other words, taking a technology, making it available for people to consume, and multiple people to be able to consume without having to own and operate it. Oakland County's been providing shared services to other governments for over 35 years. Our first shared service was our CLEMIS system, Courts Law Enforcement Management Information System.
Very important.
Brooks was a young prosecutor, and then what they did is when they started that program was to get the same incident report to be used by all the municipalities for the prosecutor's office. And that's how that was the beginnings of what was now called
Is that also how, you know, if we have a criminal that's going across borders and everything now, police departments and public safety can talk to each other, right?
Yeah, so sure. So you have a system that was a mainframe system originally that was for 43 policing agencies inside Oakland County, is now for over 200 different entities, many of them public safety, in 5 different counties. So now we share data across the county borders and across the municipality borders, because crime doesn't stop at the border.
Sure.
But when you look at that, and so those people, so the other governments in that scenario have been consuming that technology from us as a provider. The cloud is another mechanism by which to consume technologies. So what you have is a central technology that is hosted by an entity where multiple entities can use it through whatever access it may be, whether it be fiber, whether it be the internet, or whatever it may be. So it's not this mystical new being. What it is it's a centrally hosted technology that multiple entities can consume. But today, the technology has shifted so much that it's easier to do, and the cost is much less. So now, as a government, we have something to think about. We have less revenue. We are not going to see the revenue that we were getting in 2007 till like 2020. So how are we going to manage the cost of government and still use enabling technologies? We'll consume them. So why do I have to own servers and data centers and own, you know, I need the network obviously for access, but why do I have to have all that infrastructure in place when if someone else has the infrastructure, I can simply pay a fee to use the technology from them? So it's not this mystifying thing, the cloud. It's a term that is used in many different ways, or it was used in many different ways when it first came out. But the real essence of it is now it's an opportunity to share technology in a less costly environment and then allow me to only consume and pay for what I need.
Well, I'm ashamed to say that I honestly thought there was some mystical satellite or something up there and that we were being beamed up, or I have no idea. I mean, it just was something, because they call it a cloud and it looks like a cloud, you know, when you see the little icon, I thought, oh, you know, I don't know if I should ask for that or not. I'm not sure.
Well, again, it's less costly to the end user. So for instance, our G2G cloud solutions, which is our cloud product that we're providing to other governments, there are medium to small governments that could not use those technologies because they simply could not afford them. They couldn't afford the capital expense to buy the equipment and the infrastructure to put them on, and then they couldn't afford the ongoing operating to maintain them. Because as any technology is developed, it has to be maintained or it will cease to be functional. It'll be obsolete.
In no time.
Yeah,
right?
so what we're doing now is we're that provider. So in essence, we're the cloud for other governments to consume our online payment services, as well as our web suite technologies. They're consuming those right now today as if we are their cloud and they're only paying for what they're consuming.
Are there a lot of communities now that are on board?
We have over 30 communities. Well, they're actually not communities, just communities, they're entities as well. We have district courts and other folks that are using it, mostly in Southeast Michigan. We are branching out beyond our typical tri-county area. We have other counties. We just signed a contract with Livingston County. We're going to help them provide their web suite.
Do we have to have towers and things like that?
Nope. They're simply going to come through our, our fiber and our network to be able to get to us to consume the technology, then to drive back. Most of these technologies are web enabled, so they have to have a really strong web connection and they can use it. So we're branching out. We're even getting some interest outstate for some of the technologies that we have.
So we'll sell that at a higher price to?
Well, actually no. When you look at cost, when you leverage technology cost across multiple entities, it actually lowers the per unit cost to everyone. So the more people we have sharing the system, the less the per unit cost is. So what it does is it allows those medium to small governments to not pay what they would have had to pay to have their own. They simply consume it at a lower cost per unit.
Is there a geographic boundary that you can't go beyond?
Nope.
No?
No.
You can just do anything.
Well, the hardest part of sharing technology, and I think many of your viewers won't be surprised, it's the legal ability to do it between each other. Yeah. See, governments cannot give things to each other. They cannot just simply say, hey, why don't you use my technology and we'll just do it. there has to be an interlocal government agreement between us to allow that kind of transaction to take place. So we've created standard interlocal government agreements with attachments for the products. And now the governments, and the Board of Commissioners was very kind and been very supportive of our projects over the years, by the way. The commissioners, and you've been a big part of that, have been supportive of our initiatives, but you also passed a standard interlocal government agreement that now we don't have to go back through the board process every single time we bring on a new customer. We can simply have the board sign it as long as they're using the standard agreement.
Because they've approved that one.
So what does that mean? And for those business people out there that are watching, it means time to market. So if a small government says, I'm in a pinch, I need a website and I need to provide online services right now, we have a contract. It'll take longer to get through their township or village or city council than it will to get through our process at the Board of Commissioners because of the work that we did and the pre-work we did to make sure it was all workable.
Wow. Well, I know I have a lot of questions for you, and I wanted to know too, why are shared services so important? You sort of touched on it a little bit, but why is that, and what can you tell me about the most recent shared service that Oakland County provides?
Sure. So sharing is also something that we're all not really great at.
I know.
And, you know,
everybody wants their own.
Back when we were kids, right?
Yeah,
you know, it was hard to share toys or
right.
whatever it may be. Well, government's no different than businesses. They all believe that, you know, at one time they could just do it on their own and they could make all this happen with the resources they had and everything that goes along with it. Those days are over. The revenue for government is not there. In Oakland County, we've been very smart about not overtaxing our citizens. We've lowered our millage rate multiple times under Brooks's leadership. We've done all the things we need to do to make it a great place to live, work, and play. The last thing we need to do is be pushing the cost of government upward. Right. And to be able to perform the services we need to perform, we need enabling technologies to do that. So we've invested in those technologies. And now what we're saying is government A, there's no need to go do it by yourself. Share ours. We did a catalog with the National Association of Counties where we created a application store where other counties can now go in and look in what each other has and they can communicate with them and start buying collaboratively and working collaboratively, the technology, instead of just doing it on their own, because we just can't do it anymore. The economy's not there to allow it. The people we have, I mean, we're getting taxed more by different entities. They don't want to have to pay more for the technologies that run county government. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to share those technologies. We're going to drive that per unit cost down, and we're going to still be able to deliver the enabling technologies to do the business, which is service the citizens. So that's why shared services are important. And there are people that have been against sharing over time because they may have their kind of hierarchical problems or parochial problems within their government. But you know what? Those times are over. We have to stop it. We have to start sharing services, lowering the cost, and making sure we have the benefit for the citizen, and that's who we serve. Now, the project that we've just released is our G2G Cloud Solutions. And if people want to know more, they can go online at www.g2gcloud.com. And it's G2G-cloud.com.
Okay.
And the reason, what that talks about is why we're doing what we're doing. We are doing it to benefit other governments. There's really benefits for everyone here. One, the smaller government gets a technology at a lower cost. Two, the county gets a revenue stream that we reinvest back into the technology that lowers our cost. Remember, lowering that per unit cost, and it lowers our cost to do it. So the G2G Cloud is the project that we're working with today that has really started to grow. And what we've had other entities of government start to utilize it more because they see the benefit longer term. Are there still governments out there that think, I don't really need to be using Oakland County's technologies to be successful? You bet. That's why we created the brand G2G, because it's generic. It's not Oakland County, Michigan stamped all over their payment engine or whatever it may be. So this is a win for everybody. We thought it was the right thing to do because we've been in the business for delivering shared technologies for 35 years. And now what we're trying to do is leverage that even farther to help more in the world of government service.
Well, I know I've heard you say before, excuse me, that it's difficult to find IT people out there who aren't working in the private sector, you know, to get them to come to the county. And I've got to believe other municipalities, you know, like Novi, how can they afford their own IT department? You know, I mean, unfortunately, you know, when I retired from the city of Novi, I all of a sudden didn't have IT people to to set my computer up or to fix it when there was something going wrong with it. So there's a great demand for IT people.
Sure.
And so I guess, you know, if a municipality really doesn't have the economy to be able to hire those people, this would be a great thing for them to
Sure, and it doesn't
take
solve all the
advantage of the
problems.
county.
It doesn't solve all the problems of local government. Local government's always going to have somebody responsible for their technology. You know, the old, I need to be able to point to somebody and say, that's the person that's responsible.
Right.
Whether they need to build, own, and operate all their own services is different. Why not consume them? We're looking at what we can consume on the county level from others. We don't want to have to build it all ourselves. So local government is always going to have that person that's responsible. In many cases in local government, it's also the finance people that are very involved in technology, because it is an expense to the general fund that has to be made, or an investment from the general fund that has to be made. So the finance people are usually involved in the technology decisions. So local governments are going to do this more, because if anybody's been affected by the downturn in the economy, it's been local government.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing our state of Michigan recover, but remember, there were revenue sharing and there was other dollars that were supposed to be in local government that aren't there anymore. We've worked through that. Well, Oakland County is going to be presenting you, the Board of Commissioners, with a balanced budget. I think we just put some information on our website. It's the 2013 framework. And if people want to see that, it's www.oakgov.com, O-A-K-G-O-V. And on the front, there's a link to the framework. It's 97 pages prepared by Mr. Dado.
I started getting through it, and
it's everything you're going to want to know.
Right.
Why it's important for us to start working together more and sharing more. And it talks about a balanced budget through 2016 with no further budget reductions by the county elected officials or their departments. That wasn't easy to get there.
No.
I mean, we worked
that
hard as a county.
That started decades ago.
You bet
right?
It did.
Yeah.
We've been managing our retirement plans. In the mid-90s, we went and took away defined benefit for new hirees and went to defined contribution. In 2006, we moved from retiree health care accounts to HSAs, or health savings accounts, for new hirees. We've managed our legacy costs, which is what drove the auto industry almost completely off the cliff, as well as many local governments around us. Yeah. We've done those things, but we've also invested in shared service and enterprise technologies that we're now reaping the benefit from.
Now, you also will teach local municipalities if they need to have some basic information about which, which IT thing they should make their priority.
We're more than happy to consult with them, you bet. And there are a number of local governments that contact us and say, hey, I got this bid for a telephone system, or I got this bid to make our network more robust. And we will actually look over those responses to help them out, because what we don't want to have happen is we don't want to have a problem when we're moving technologies across different levels of government to have the smaller governments or the cities, villages, and townships struggle with that. So we want their networks to be robust. We want them to be able to be accepting of our technologies. And here's the other part. They're the same taxpayer that pays county taxes.
Absolutely.
So the taxpayer of the city of Novi pays county taxes. So why aren't we working together more to make sure that we're spending it well? And that's what we're doing. The county commissioners have worked hard to support these efforts. The recruitment and retention of IT people is at a critical point for us. The IT world in Southeast Michigan was one of the fastest growing IT sectors in the entire nation. So we're out there right now. We have job openings. We're hiring at Oakland County. It's tough to find them because there's a couple of reasons. One, they don't think government's all that innovative until they really get here and say, oh my God, you are innovative.
Yeah.
The second thing is there's salary issues, and there's benefit issues, and there's workplace issues. We're tackling all that at the county, and we're working on it, but understand that everybody's having this problem. I sit on a committee with CIOs from across industries. Healthcare is having the same problem that government's having. We need more IT professionals. So my advice to the viewers that have young people that are on their way to college, especially young women, go get your degree in information technology, because the jobs are there and the world's there, and they're going to write their own ticket. Young men too, don't get me wrong, but it seems that we have, we're starting to see a turn where we're getting more young women involved in math and sciences. That's very important for our world of technology, and we're recruiting people actively to make sure we get the right people.
Are the colleges up to speed on what kind of classes and things that are ideal for?
Yeah, they are, and they're graduating people.
Yeah.
But many of our young people are leaving the state of Michigan.
I know.
Because they think there are better places to live or more innovative places where they can learn more. We have that right here. We're the R&D capital of North America for the automobile industry in Oakland County. We have more high-tech businesses moving in every day. So
a lot of them in Novi.
We have a county that's very innovative when it comes to technology. So we need to go sell that. But here's one of our other problems. It's not necessarily the entry-level people that we're finding hard to find. It's the middle management people. Oh. Because when the IT industry swung back, which it swung back with a vengeance, the auto industry and everybody else came after our best and our brightest, and we lost a number of folks. So we're growing people, we're providing professional development, we're out there seeking experienced IT professionals to come in and build our team. We're using contractual services. We outsource about 30% of everything we do at Oakland County IT. So we're using every model that's available to us. We are going to rebuild our team, yet we're still being innovative and we're being cost effective along the way.
Great. Well, I know that the county has a well-respected, what's called a project management office. Have you ever considered having those resources available to the municipalities?
Well, we do provide that consulting as well and project management. A funny story about project management. When I first started working with IT, I was in the equalization division. So all those folks, I apologize, I was the property tax assessor guy. And not a very popular thing, by the way.
No.
But I was a customer of the IT department when they shifted in the mid-90s to using project management. Mm-hmm. That shifted their entire ability to meet our expectations and deliver technologies. Because now every hour of every day of every employee is planned for 2 years. Wow. So I know exactly what's going to be done over a 2-year period. Now, does that mean new things won't come? Of course, new projects come in. There's really 2 ways they can bring new projects into our PMO. 1, they can bump one off the list, mm-hmm. or 2, they can bring additional funding. And you see that at the county commissioner level when someone needs a project and they need additional funding, they will come to you for an appropriation to go ahead and get that done. And every time they come to you, they have a return on investment analysis for every project to show what the payback to the county will be in either efficiencies or real hard dollars and positions.
That's the way every city, village, and township ought to be working. You know, that's what everybody should be doing.
But I think we're blessed in Oakland County. I think we have some of the best government operations in the nation. Because when you go unit by unit, and we work with these folks daily, they know what they're doing. Now, whether they have the resources they need to get everything done is different. But we have some really good people in government at all levels here in Oakland County. So we're pretty proud of our 910 square miles and the people that work for the citizens.
Well, Phil, I feel I still have like 3 or 4 more questions to ask you, but I am sorry to say that we're just about done. Is there some quick thing you would like to say in addition, or shall we just have you back at another show?
Well, I'd like to come back, that's for sure. One thing I just want to share with everybody out there that's watching. We do get it. The county government level. We understand what it takes to be efficient and fiscally responsible. It starts at the top with our county executive, L. Brooks Patterson, our countywide elected officials, our board of commissioners. We have some of the most meaningful conversations about policy and the way we're going to run government to best benefit our 1.2 million citizens. The technology is simply the enabler. So technology isn't the magic wand. It's the enabler that allows us to do our jobs more efficiently. And our goal is to make sure we do the best we can to provide the top-notch technologies we need to provide so people can do that. But in the end, the real winners are the citizens because they're getting the services they need from a government who has gone through a horrible economic time and has lowered pay for employees. We have changed benefit packages and we've managed our cost over the years and we're still being innovative. That's pretty powerful, and that goes to the entire team. And when I stood in the executive office building at the White House and presented it, that's the message I wanted to leave with them, that it is all of us working together, and we get it in Oakland County, Michigan.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Phil, for coming and trying to explain some of the technical things so that even people like myself can understand. So, and I want to thank all the viewing audience for watching it. I know sometimes that you just catch us by accident, but I'm hoping that you will watch for our additional shows coming up. So thanks for tuning in to Commissioner's Corner and hope to see you in the next show. Thank you.